Let's take a breath together. The circus inside had the idea to come running from the back of the room, spin around and go, "What the Because I am a self-entertaining amusement center. Sometimes you're amused, and sometimes not so much. But always I am amused. It's one of the greatest journeys of growth I've been on. So this morning we're continuing with First Thing First. And we're launching into our exploration of the 8th tradition. In the 8th tradition, and just for reference, check it out, folks. This is the name of the book that teaches about the traditions. Right? Guiding Principles. Because the traditions are all about guiding principles. And so here's what the 8th tradition offers us. And I'm going to read it in terms of our spiritual center. Columbia Greater Baltimore Center for Spiritual Living remains forever, should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. Now, how does that work with a professional minister even saying that? Right? On many levels. I'm a special worker. What this tradition is talking about is the community is not professional. The group is not professional. How do we know the difference? Go to a school. Go to an education, a school of higher learning, a college, if you will. It's a professional organization. It's a professional atmosphere. It has an established curriculum, right? Every class has an established curriculum. You go there to learn very specific things. The tests all relate to those very specific things. And if you wanted to come in with a tremendous amount of excitement and change the curriculum, it wouldn't be welcomed. That's a professional organization versus a non-professional organization, which is this, where everybody can be seen and heard that chooses to be. That chooses to be. And here's the thing, if you're silent, no one will see you or hear you. And that's your choice, and we will honor that. We don't, as a teaching, pray for people who don't ask for it. Right? We don't assume that by watching your life, we get to be judge and jury and decide that, oh, you need something different, so we're going to pray for you. We don't do that. Because we honor your choice. I will tell you, as a human being, if I see you headed for a brick wall, emotionally or mentally, I will warn you. I will tell you what I see, but I'm not getting between you and the wall. No. I qualify for every 12-step program known to humankind except codependency. I don't have it and I'm not getting it. Somehow I escaped it too old, too ornery to learn it now. We deserve to love each other and be loved enough to experience the full experience that we've chosen. Now that happens in non-professional communities. Right? One of the nice, tidy things about a professional community is the griping happens in the parking lot and in the bathrooms. It doesn't happen in the classroom. Here, all bets are off. Right? You can voice your gripe anywhere in community. Non-professional community by design is messy. It invites you to live in WTF. It invites you to ask WTF. When you experience something out in the world, and God knows we have plenty to choose from right now, that leaves you sitting there going, WTF. You get to come in here and talk about that. You get to come in here and be real about that. And you get to agree and disagree with one another. You get to challenge one another. But what we don't do is control one another, and we stop lying about that. Professional organizations still operate under a certain amount of self-deception that they can actually control those things. All right. I used to manage a security company. 110 officers under my command. We had policies and procedures out the wazoo. We had protocol books at every site. We checked on officers at least every hour. And yet and still, I controlled nothing. People made choices. Just like the day a hooker answered my site cell phone because my guard was in the shower. There's some things you can't control. I've pulled naked guards out of hot tubs. I've woken them up on site with pillows, and then they talk about how they fell asleep accidentally, but they brought a pillow. I'm confused. So even in a professional organization, people are people. The difference is here, you're invited to be the fullness of you. In those environments, you're not. What is required goes back to that seventh tradition, where we should be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. And so this is another level of reciprocity, of community ownership. Okay? Because for a community to be truly non-professional and function, we have to be engaged in it. It's about looking at where do we serve ourselves and one another, and where do we need to hire somebody to do the professional thing. Right now, in this center, we employ myself, a bookkeeper, and the featured musicians. Everybody else is giving of their time, talent, and treasure to sustain this as a non-professional community. If we were a truly professional community, everybody that did anything would be a paid employee. And then I'm not sure how we would sustain ourselves unless we charged admission to come to church, and that's kind of weird. Right? I want to tell you a story that came to my attention this past week of how a non-professional community actually works. Somebody reached out because things have shifted in their life to where they were living in a shelter. And they were really doing the teaching that we teach. They were praying, they were meditating, they were doing what we do. And they were just reaching out to see if I had any resources that they had not already connected with. And I didn't, because they were in a different county. And one of the things that happens on planet Earth is if you're a resident of Howard County, you get to avail yourself of Howard County services. If you're not, you kind of don't. And it's that way in every county. It's not just Howard County. So we talked, and we prayed, and they went on with their evening stuff. They happened to be in service last Sunday. So this phone call was before Sunday service. And at the coffee machine, this person assisted somebody that didn't know how to operate the coffee machine. So there was an act of reciprocity right there. Out of that came a conversation, because the two people didn't even know each other. And in that brief conversation came the awareness that this person was looking for a place to live. This person has an extra room in their home that is unused. The conversation continued, and last I heard, they've worked out a plan to where, because the room needs some love and attention, this person is going to live there for as long as they need to and want to, in exchange for taking care of the space and cleaning it up and healing it up. And that looped in another community member. And so it's just a beautiful example, right? If we were a professional community, there would have had to be a referral, and there would have had to be an assessment, and there would have had to be somebody paying for something. That's what this tradition is about. Everybody that is in service this morning made this happen for you. It's about reciprocity. This is what this tradition is about. Should remain forever non-professional. Why non-professional? Because then anybody that wants to come can come. Right? Kaiser Permanente is a professional organization. Guess who gets to go to Kaiser? Kaiser members. Guess who gets to come here? Anybody. Doesn't matter if you're a member or not. Come on in. Right? It's that mentality. And the piece that we're really going to focus on this week and into next week is this thing called ownership. Because there's a couple of things that happens with non-professional communities. If there's no ownership, the community will eventually die. It just will. Right? If you don't believe it, find the plant you dislike the most, put it somewhere where you can see it, and then just see it. Don't feed it, don't water it, just watch it die. That's what happens if we don't own our community. Right? If we paid for every service that community members provide, it would more than double our budget. More than double our budget. There's a couple levels of community ownership. And I didn't put this on the study guide this week because I'm just now thinking about it. But I invite you to take a look at this within yourself this week. Are you a consumer Are you just coming in to pick up a product and take it home? Are you engaged? An engaged participant who, if you see a piece of trash, you'll pick it up. Or are you an owner? Are you an owner? Are you part owner of this community to where you're going to show up? Because here's the thing about ownership. If you've ever owned a business, owners show up for their business. Right? They're making sure things happen in their business. And do they do that just to keep the business at the status quo? No. They do it to grow the business. Right? There's one of you in here that periodically sends me emails that just make my heart sing, because you actually tell people about this community and you invite them to things and you send them recording links. Right? Now that may not be your gig, but there's some place in here for every one of us to establish ownership. Right? And I'll wrap up with this, because it seems to be a thing for some people, so let me just dispel. Yes, I am a paid professional minister. I am. And that's a good thing, because I have bills. But that doesn't include setting up the sound system. All right? I do that because I have ownership. I do that because I actually know sound systems. That's been there since high school. I was the sound tech for our high school stage band right up the road in Leesburg, Virginia. Right? And so I learned how to do this stuff. And I enjoy it. And so that is one place where I can be an owner beyond my professional role. It's not because I'm superhuman. If you're thinking that, you can let that go. if you're thinking I'm all that, here you go. Because I'm not. I don't walk on water. That's why I fish from the dock. If any of you do, please come see me. I will take you fishing with me, because sometimes I can't get my line where I want it. And if you can walk on water, you can just run it out there and drop it for me. That'd be really cool. Where is your zone of ownership? And it doesn't have to be hard. And it doesn't have to wear you out. And if you're doing it with any sense of guilt or shame, don't do it. And I mean that from every fiber of my being. If you're going to show up and be in service because some guilt and shame voice is chattering at you, no, thank you, I don't want it. Because it's poison. And a little bit of poison, still poison. And it doesn't serve us. Now, if you're in that space and you want to help shift your mentality out of it, I will climb in the trench with you and walk through whatever's going on. But don't bring your resentments to service in the community. That's not the place for it. It's just not. The greatest reframe of WTF that I can offer you, in all sincerity, where's the focus? Where's the focus? I am watching people who are brilliant metaphysicians feed the angst and anger and hatred, all while using words about oneness and unity and love. And I'm like, I'm so confused. And what kept coming to me is, where's the focus? If you don't like what's happening in the world, great. Where's your focus? Are you focusing on what needs to be changed? Are you focusing on the absence of things, or are you focusing on the presence of something? Because if you're focusing on getting rid of something, you don't understand anything. You don't. Because everything, and I mean everything, is an expression of God. If there's only one power, please tell me what else is expressing. It can't be something else. Used out of alignment? Yes. Used in confusion? Yes. But it is still consciousness expressing. And so when you're busy trying to eliminate that, you're trying to eliminate consciousness. Good luck. Focus on what is. If there's no love in your circle, then be it. And now there's love in your circle. This is not hard. What's hard is to stop the traditional version of this and stop indulging your self-righteous indignation by thinking you have the answer to that, because you don't. If you did, it wouldn't even be a question. If any one of us had the answer, law would act on it, make it so, and there wouldn't be no more question. Understand how this actually works, folks. Humanity, and I really am going to wrap up with this. Humanity is the greatest non-professional group. It just is. Lots of professionals in it. But as a group, we're non-professional. We're not meant to be professional. We're portals of divine expression, figuring it out. And so ask yourself, where's the focus? Over and over again, where's the focus? And if it's blurry, refocus. Let's take this into prayer. No matter what my human brain tells me, there is only one power. Self-existent, meaning it's not made out of anything else. It simply has always existed. Changeless, because there is nothing for it to change into. It already is everything. It is the wholeness and every part within the whole. Whether we call it consciousness, the absolute, God, Buddha, Allah, Great Spirit, the great mystery, it is nameless. It cannot be limited by the concept of a name, because it is all names. It is all genders. It is all people. It is all places. It is all things. It is all seen and unseen. Infinite possibility moved into probability by thought, moved into actuality by law. All is this one power. And being the singular substance of all that is created, it must be the substance of me. And so I must be an expression of it, fully empowered with the agency of it. All of it, fully present in, through, and as me. Yet I, the individualized I, am never all of it. And what is true of me is true of all. And so I know that every individualized expression is a portal of divine expression, empowered with the agency of the creative power of life itself at whatever level it is expressing, with the freedom to choose how it expresses, never diminishing that it is expressing consciousness itself. And so I claim and affirm that I claim the ownership of the human, non-professional community that is mine to claim. That I surrender every lie of separation and stand, knees shaking, voice quivering in the truth of one. And I listen within to be guided. Where's the focus? And I put my attention there. To be a healing presence within humanity. No matter what, no matter when, no matter where. To be a world that works until the whole world works. And having spoken my word, which is the word of the infinite speaking in, through, and as me, I know that the activity, the doer of creation, has already received it and already made it so. Already done. It is not dependent on me seeing it. It is not dependent on me, the individualized me, at all. It is done. And so I let go. I let go of every thought that would distract me from seeing the full manifestation. I let go of every lie that wants to argue. I let it go. And I stand in the affirmation and the truth of being and live life. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Let's take a breath.